All right, so we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and this went a lot faster than I thought it was going to go. Right, it did keep under the 8 minutes, about 14 seconds until we're done here. Excuse me. So what we're going to be doing is going over the Optuna results as soon as it's done, and you see here that our best trial was 83. All right, beautiful. This looks fantastic. So what it's doing right now, it has the results now. It has to validate it. Okay, best line. Okay, a 52,000% increase, fam. So let's go look at this. I'm super interested to see how this is going to work. So for those that don't know, my name is Creative, and what we do here at Creative Coder is being able to create different algo trading strategies that we can be able to go from ideation, right? Back testing. Now we're optimizing, right? Then we're finished optimizing. We're going to be going to walking forward. Then we're going to build our bot. So I'm going to keep it here on optimization. And this is part 5 of this little my first bot session that we're doing here. So I'm going to copy this. We did 100 trials. Go ahead and go to Claude code. You don't need auto anymore. All right, review. Then review the results. Then explain them to us. Present in a way that is simple and with an analogy such that we can get the before and after here. I should have capped it because I think it's going to be a little word vomit. I appreciate this, fam. The results are screaming overfit. Profit factor of 2950, win rate of 98.6%. This is not real edge. That's the optimizer gaming the scoring. Let me pull the actual trades to diagnose. That's why we have best parms. Y'all see this? Like, how was I ever going to get to that? Or even this? So let's see what we're able to see here. And what it's doing is going through our results and being able to let us know, here it is, these results, right? And being able to see, all right, is there overfitting here? If so, where it is and what can we take from this? Okay, here's the full picture of what happened. The analogy, imagine you're fishing. The baseline strategy uses a medium hook and waits 3 minutes for a good bite. Sometimes you catch a big fish, sometimes you lose the bait. The optimizer discovered, using the tiniest hook, set a hair trigger to the reel in the first nibble, 8%, and set your cut line to threshold so wide, 15%, that it never fires in the 2-minute window. Results, you catch 98.6% of the time, but you're catching many minnows and calling it a perfect record. Before, after, stop line is 15.4%, can fire in 2 minutes. Almost every trade exits via TP or time with a tiny win. Only 5 losses total. Each tiny dividing by 0 inflates the PF to meaningless. Sharp ratio flattering because every trade is a small win. Artificially low, never tested in a real drawdown. More signals from wider delta range. The exploit patterns across all 10 trials is the stop loss wider. Time stop is at 2, and the arm is a little bit more tighter than what we have it. And this is the TP. The optimizer learned that a stop loss wider than the what's reachable in time window is free win rate inflation. The fix is we need a constraint so the search space, so the stop loss can't exceed what actually is reachable within the top, or better, change the objective to penalize unrealistic stop loss time ratio and want me to add this constraint and keep the optimizer honest. All right. Before we do that, can we take what was given and test and see if it works for the strat? Meaning, is there any credence with what was found out so far? Meaning, do we have to throw the bath water out with the baby? It's an analogy, folks, or metaphor, or an alliteration. It's one of those figure of speech. Good instincts. Let me separate the signal noise and I'll analyze the optimizers consistently learned across 100 trials. Not just the degenerate top. That's funny. Let's see right now. All right, so what it's doing right now is just being able to say, all right, this is my honest assessment based on these are real signals. Let me break this down careful. The baby is fine, just just needs a bath. That's funny. Here's what the optimizer consistently learned across the trials, PF 15 through 30, and not degenerate ones. The signal parameters, trust raw price less, smoother Kalman, fewer false breakouts. Allow the Kelvin state to move faster. 0 DTE prices actions are volatile. Wider bands equal only trigger on real breakouts, not noise. This is slightly zero more candidates, slightly cheaper, slightly longer trend confirmation window. Okay. So think of this like tuning a car radio. The baseline was tuned to a station that was slightly off. You can hear the music, but that's static. The optimizer found the station that's actually at a slightly different frequency, higher Kelman, wider bands, and the top degenerate trials cranked the volume so loud that you couldn't hear the static anymore. But the honest trial actually tuned the dial. Bottom line, the bands, multi-bands up and the Kelman's up are the two honest correlation parameters with scores. That's real findings that the baseline is generating too many signals from the noise. Wider bands equals smoother Kelman is fewer but higher quality breakout entries. That's not overfitting, that's the signal. Want me to build a consistent parameter set from the honest median, then run it through the full backtest engine so we can get a proper trade to trade results? Yes, but we are looking to stay semi aggressive, fam. Yes, we want to improve upon it, but not looking to have the trade count less than 215, give or take. Bodum sketching. What are you sketching? Aggressive consensus parameters. Pollinating the 16 aggressive trials draw from the now let the consensus see the full backtest engine with the proper trade to trade. Use Python, not Python 3. I keep telling you that, and yet you keep trying to use Python 3. Oh, fuck. Now you're running one in the background. Bravi. Best parms. This is just like so precise. This is like being able to like recite pi to like the 20th place. I just know 3.164628. I think. What is pi to the 8th digit? 3.124159265. Yeah. 3.124159265. 3.124159265. 3.124159322. Whatever. So this is what it found. Now we're waiting on the results. This is why I feel like we should go like Hold on. I'm just waiting on the results. Let me just stop talking and add some background music. Hold on, fam. My fault. This is crazy. I didn't think it was gonna take that long, fam. Hold on. I just shut up and wait. All right, here we go. Trade count are right where you want them. 233, 239 above the 215. The win rate, PNL, and all substantially improved. One flag as the max drawdown went from 8 to 24, while the PF is still suspiciously high. Want me to tighten the SL back to 0.2 and bump the time stop to 3 to keep it honest, then rerun. This is what I want you to do. Update the actual back test with the PARMs, the aggressive ones, so we can run it. Proceed. All right, let's go back to the waiting music. Go back to waiting music. All right, we're back in this. Let me just turn this down a little bit more. There we go. All right, let me come here. Clear. Let me copy. Python, boom, label, Optuna, do. All right, now I'm running it on 24 because remember we tested on 23, or we did all this validation on 23 and want to see how well this one is able to perform. Well, that's kind of dumb. Remember, I think we touched, damn. We found something, ladies and gentlemen. 94%. I don't know. This is super interesting. SL's 1 time stops 300. Okay. We found a ultimate scalper. This is kind of interesting. Let me see 20. Okay. Year 2022. Label. Optuna dough. Let's see. Let us see. I mean, we went from 2 trades to 10 trades. There's something that's really blocking. I think 22 is just a barrier. Again, I think this is a data availability problem, not necessarily a strategy problem, right? That's kind of crazy. Let me see Optuna. Okay. review and advise. I think we found something, ladies and gentlemen. I think we found something. And now we can get to the point where we can just like actually build the bot, right? I'm gonna move this to the walk fork validation, and that's being able to run it on 25 and 26. Yes, I can get 2026 data using Theta Data and Schwab, and I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna do that. Meaning, like if we were to run this strategy the last 44 days of 2020, like 44 days ago up until now, right? How would the strategy would have performed, right? Giving it $100, and what would have been the actual ending results? Honest read. The concern is the stop loss fired once in 239 trades. That's 15%. Okay. Bottom line, the signal improvement are real. You're entering better breakouts. The exit parms are aggressive but functional. The strategy is tradable with these parms as long as you understand the time stop. Exit is the actual risk gate, not the stop loss. Want me to run it on 23 for a better full picture? Let me run it on 23. 23. All right, so I'm going to run it on 23. Then what we're going to do is being able to run it on 25 and 26. Yeah. Still in the same place. All right. Review. Then let's discuss before we proceed. When is the last time? Okay, there it is. So what this back test does, right, is being able to use the current data, so the last 41 days, right, so we can actually back test it and seeing how well it works. So that's what I'm going to create for this AI breakout strategy that we just created here. A month by month breakdown, fam. All right, review. Baseline, Optuna. Discussion points. Are you comfortable with the 22% drawdown to 24? That's aggressive, but not usual for $100 to 214K compounded. The question is whether the live sizing would mirror this. Probably not. You would cap the position sizing earlier. Probably wouldn't. The time exit is doing well. All the work. Should we lean into that and just drop the SL entirely, or tighten the time minute back to 3 so it gives trades more room while reducing the instant loss pattern? The PF at 33 or 40 is still unrealistically high for live trading. Spread widening, partial fills, and slippage is real in 0 DTE flow and will compress this. Realistic expectations live PF 4 at 8. That's still phenomenal. Before review, and we want to create a back test like this for the AI breakout baby BT, so we can gauge how well it would perform in the current environment. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, differently, instead of reading the parquet files, it pulls the last 30 days of live open, high, low, close from Schwab, and then the option grease from Theta Data per day. This lets you validate the strategy against the current market environment without waiting for parquet data to be built. The key pattern is that Schwab is the underlying price plus VIX, and then Theta Data is getting the Greek first order per day with strike. I'll bid the equivalent for AI breakout baby with the same data sources and the same Kalman breakout logic with the current Optuna parameters. Here we go. Another couple minutes here. Oh, you know what I forgot? You know what I forgot, fam? We need our waiting music. Here you go. Yeah, I'm playing with you. Let me shut up. All right, I'm just gonna sit back and wait and see. It should be like another minute or so until we're done with this. I'm not a rapper, or maybe. Here we go. All right, let me turn this down. All right, beautiful. This is going to take like a minute or two, maybe 3, to be able to load all the data. Again, I'm running it on 2026, so I want to see how well this works. Let me put the music back up while we're waiting. Chat me. I'm playing. I'm not a rapper. All right, well, here we go. We about to run it. Let's see how this performs. Give me make sure to go ahead and smash that like button. And no trades executed. What? That's crazy. All that build up for nothing. What a tease. Let's find the error and fix it, bruvy. Let's take some pride in the work. "22 detected, but 0 trace. The option lookup is failing silently. Let me diagnose the timestamp, mismatch between Schwab, open, high, low, close, volume, which is what this means, and theta data, Greeks. Please tell me using Python. There we go. Because one is using Epoch, another one's using UTC, and I bet another one's using Eastern Standard. Bruh, it's these I really, bruh. I mean, that's what you get with autonomy, right? Everybody wants to do it their own way. It's just not a universal way to be able to have data reported. One person wants to report it as UTC. Time mismatch. The filter past two candidates found. The find out option should work. The problem must be in the backtest loops. The signals exist, but the loop isn't reaching them. Let me check the backtest. Iterates through the signal days, but the grease only loaded for the dates with 0 DTE expirations. That should be every day. This is 2026, not 2022. Oh, now it's actually loading. All right, back to background music. Like I'm waiting on you, Claude. It's not like I'm waiting on you, Claude. It's like we waiting, but I really. All right. Little amateur rapper. If y'all here at this point in this video, bro, I appreciate y'all. This is just whatever. All right, let me let the music play. I'm gonna mute the mic now, so if I do rap, I'm just rapping to myself. All right, here we go. All 22 days have Greek, so the find option should work. We proved two candidates exist. The bug must be in the loop logic itself. Let me trace one iteration. Almost done thinking with medium effort. Recombobulating. You're freaking hilarious. Watch it compact before you can even get to what I need to get fixed. The context is getting low. The data match is fine. The bug is likely in the contract 0 issues. Okay. Yes. Oh, yep. Because QQQ is a lot more expensive now. QQQ is a lot more expensive now. We were trading it like around the $600 levels. Confirm the starting balance can't buy even one contract at 148. The parquet. Okay. The parquet backtest has the same issue, but the QQQ was lower. Fix. Okay. Does this ensuring at least one contract can buy? Wait, what? Backtest does this ensuring at least one contract can buy to cover the $100 starting balance can't even buy one. The parquet balance has the same issue, but the premiums were lower when the balance was starting low. The fixed use max 1, ensuring that at least one contract can buy when balance can cover. Wait. Explain what you are doing in layman's terms before you continue, and advise why that is the choice here, rather than increasing the starting capital to 150. Keep your response to 5 to 8 sentences. And that's something that I've been noticing, like in live trading, that $100 isn't going to do it anymore. If you want these option contracts, the issue is that the $100 capital It's costing 148 per contract. The sizing formula says buy 0 when the contracts, so every trade gets skipped silently. Y max 1. Instead of raising the capital to 150, the parquet backtest starts at 100 but works because QQQ was cheaper. The current options are 150 because the stock it's at 700 versus 300. Raising the capital to 150 is a band-aid. It'll break again if the premiums raise further. The max 1 approach says if you can afford at least one contract, buy one contract regardless of the sizing formula. Says the max affordable god still prevents you from spending more than your balance. This is exactly what all right, so basically it is iterating through strike / option contracts to find the best next option. Is that what you're saying? No, the option selection already works fine. It finds a contract, acts, okay, and it returns it successfully. The problem is one step later, the position sizing. The formula says reach 88%, but contracts at 148 cost one. Okay, so 0 contracts, skip. Every single signal gets skipped for the same reason, not because it can't find the option, but because it can't afford them. The fix: if I can't afford at least one option contract with a full balance, buy one even if the sizing formula says 0. Okay, but rather than that, which I hear you, can we have the back test, which would most likely happen in live, rank 1 to 5 option contracts, right? And if can't afford the first one due to being expensive, go to the next one, but let's not make it go down the rabbit hole with this one and limit it to good candidates. However, we can quantify that. That's a smarter approach. Rank the candidates by quality and walk down until you find one that you can afford. The Barcade backtest already filters by this, so we just need to return the rank list instead of the single best one. Context is getting low. Let me make 2 edits. Let me update the backtest. Okay. Done. Now it's ranking up to 5 candidates by quality, closest to ATM, tightest spread, highest gamma, and walks down until it finds one you can afford. If 148 is too expensive, it tries the next closest one, which might be 80. Context is 80. I suggest. Okay. Go ahead and say the handoff. Handoff is just a way to be able to save all the information that we worked on so we can pick up on it at the next session. So what I'm going to do while it's loading is being able to background music time. Get fancy. I didn't expect that. Sometimes you gotta pat it on his back. I appreciate that, fam. Get the fuck. Solid session. Real signals extracted from the Optuna noise. Scoring bug caught before they matter. Then the Schwab validation backtest is ready to go. Start a new freshen. Okay. Here we go. One trade, $73, 73 cents. Excuse me. You still didn't get nothing. We ran it. See? Then let's discuss. Yep. I think this is probably still too loud. Hold on. My fault. All right, in another like 10 minutes or so, like I'm gonna cut this session short. I don't want to make this video too long. I just looked at it and I'm already creeping on like 50 minutes or 35 minutes. One trade in 31 days. Okay, the core issue is that the Optuna parameters are so conservative that the breakout signals almost never fire on recent data. The signals tried to fire when they did fire. Okay, one trade. Why so few signals? Makes no. How can we make it a bit more aggressive such that it works in current data? Look at that. The two knobs that control the trade frequency is the lower, more breakouts, the quickest path. Okay. Maybe drop the R silently, but that's rather guessing. Let me check the Optuna honest from the signal frequency optimizer. Okay. I see it's already at 41% though. I just started. I made her read all those files. That's why. Interesting. Even with the highest trade trials, so okay. Yes, please. Ooh, using Python, not Python 3. Jitterbugging. It's not like we're waiting for you or anything. Sigs. Sounds like Sig, like Coach. I'm not going to say it because I really can't stand that man. I mean, he's a great coach, Signetti. Yeah. This changes everything. The signals are firing on every day, 3 to 16 per day. The bands aren't the problem. It's the slope confirmation filter that's killing them. Let me verify. That's why we do this, fam. That is why we do this. Because it's good to be able to run your back test on past data, but sometimes you got to be able to do that walk forward validation, right? And this is where it catches most of these items that sometimes can fall through the cracks if I don't take my time out to being able to do it. There it is, 22 days, 22 signals, one per day. The signal generation is working fine. The problem is the downstream. Either the option selections don't have the matching delta or premium filter, or the theta data is not returning the data for those days. The backtest only executed 1 out of the 22 trades. Looking at the output, it printed the skip days, but they are cut off. The bottleneck is almost certainly the theta data. Okay. This doesn't make sense. Okay. Give me 1 second. Run a few terminal commands to theta data python lib. Run in here using Python, not Python 3. And let's find out the pressing issue. All right, I think at this point, let me go ahead. Okay, let me just do, I'm gonna do one more iteration with y'all. Then I'm probably gonna go ahead and take this offline and finish this myself. Being able to QA and problem solve through this. I mean, it is good that y'all get this. I told you, you fucker, not to use Python, not Python 3. Like when, oh, I understand how parents feel when their kids don't listen. Like, I just gotta read it out, but I feel it. Whatever. Expirations are there for every trading day, so the data exists. The bus is how the backtest fetches it. Let me check, and then test, then fix. I think can't stop, won't stop has it. Okay, the bug is in the backtest code. Let me check the code. Yep, same thing. So I'm going to give you this as another example. I'm pretty sure you trade QQQ too. Yep, QQQ. Let me trace. Let me go ahead and put on some background music while we wait. My fault. I keep doing that. My fault. That's not the case. I don't think. Oh fuck! I just realized what the problem was. I just realized what the problem was. That could just fix the entire issue right there. I want to give it 3 examples, so I want to hear that. I tell you it works? Making me just look stupid, bro. All right, this is my last test. Then I'm probably gonna have to pick this up on part 6 because this is a lot over than what I originally planned it to be, bro. And brovettes. Well, here we go. Well, shit. Only took me fighting you a couple times, bruv. So the main thing, keep the main thing, man. The starting balance was the biggest drifter here. So we just had to get the starting balance up to 150. But once we see that, we see here that the strategy is able to survive and actually be profitable these last 44 days. So this is where I want to stop because the video is getting a little bit too long. I appreciate y'all patience for me being able to get to this point. But I'm going to pick this up on part 6, being able to go through these results and then start in the process of being able to create the bot for this particular strategy. So if you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button. I appreciate y'all for putting up with me for this long. It's your boy Creative. I'll be back at it again with another episode.